Welcome to the library of the Dusit Thani Hotel. We're going to prepare for you gunghomsabai, or fried shrimps wrapped in egg noodle. I think most of you will have tried spring rolls before, and I think you'll find this particular dish a lot more exciting. The ingredients that we're going to require are fresh shrimps, which we've just cleaned, leaving the tail part on, dried egg noodle, spring roll wrappers, the coriander root, which we've blended together with the garlic and white peppercorns, the soya sauce, rice flour, which we've just mixed together with a little bit of cold water, and the plum sauce. The first step is to clean our prawns. First, we select from the market the freshest of the prawns, and the next step will be to remove the head and the shell, and it should look something like this. And we just leave the tail part of the shell on. Okay? The next step is to make an incision down the back of the shrimp and remove the intestine. Once the prawn is cleaned, we straighten it out and we make slight incisions down the belly. This is going to make our prawn stay straight once we start to cook. Our next step will be to marinate the prawns. So first we take the white soy sauce, and we're going to mix that with our blended coriander, garlic and white peppercorns. We need to mix that well. Next we can add our shrimps. Make sure we dip that well in there, make it nicely mixed. Okay, and we're just going to leave the prawns in there to marinate. The next step will be to prepare our spring roll wrappers. The first step, we need to cut the size to about the size of our shrimps. Once we have a nice square shape, the next step is we're going to put some small holes into the wrappers. We need to cut about 5 holes. This is going to help us when we cook the prawns. It's going to help the oil get into the center to cook the prawns. And your wrapper should look something like that. The next step is to cook the egg noodles. So we take the egg noodles and we need to plunge them into boiling water. A little tip is to tie the egg noodles with a piece of string, and this will keep them all together. Once the egg noodles are nice and soft, we remove them and put them straight into cold iced water. Once they're cold, we can just put them out to dry. Now we're ready to wrap the prawns. So first we take our spring roll wrapper, which has already been trimmed to size. Next we take our marinated prawn, and we just want to leave the tail piece of the shell sticking out of the end. So we roll that nice and tight, and we're just going to use a little bit of the rice flour, which we've mixed with a bit of water like a paste, to seal the ends. Okay, now we're ready to wrap with the egg noodle. So we take about 4 or 5 pieces of the egg noodle. We just soak it a little bit in water, which helps us to straighten it out, and then we're ready to wrap the prawn. So we start at one end, seal it with a little bit of rice flour and water, and then we just wrap twice around the top. Then we bring it back underneath and we bring it back twice over, so we have 2 nice crosses. Trim the ends and seal with a little bit of rice flour again. And there we have the gunghomsabai ready for frying. Now we're ready to cook the prawns. We have our oil already heated, and we're just going to add the prawns one by one. And we're going to gently cook these for about 2 minutes. And once the prawns are nice and golden brown, you can lift them out and drain them in a piece of tissue. So there we have our gunghomsabai, or fried shrimps wrapped in egg noodle, ready to present. And to serve, plum sauce, or if you like a little bit more spicy, you can always add some chili pepper.